Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tips. My name is Julian, and this is the Weekends Adds episode for Week 7 of the fantasy hockey season. Now, I'm coming fresh off watching the Canada versus Belgium opening game of the World Cup, and my goodness, Canada looked so good. Probably deserved to win that game, but man, was I ever impressed with how they performed. Obviously, the channel's not about soccer, but about NHL hockey, but awesome to see Canada doing so well. I'm Canadian, so awesome to see that happening. But before we get started, guys, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Guys, I'm getting so incredibly close to my early season goal of 5,000 subscribers. Just a few more subscribers to go. So if you haven't yet subscribed, hit that button and help me hit my goal of 5,000 subscribers. Thanks so much, guys. And let's jump right into the content now, and let's start with the schedule for this weekend. And as you can see on Friday, there are 14 games, so 28 out of the 32 teams in the league play. So it's a pretty freaking busy night. On Saturday, there are 9 games, and then on Sunday, there are only 5. Now, usually I start off my weekend ads video by talking about players that play both Friday and Saturday. But because Friday and Saturday are pretty busy nights, and Friday literally only has 4 NHL teams that are not playing, I don't think there's pretty much any chance that you have room in your lineup both those days. So I'm not really going to be talking about Friday and Saturday players. I will, however, talk about players that play both Friday and Sunday. And there are a few teams that play both those days. Those teams are Anaheim, Arizona, Chicago, LA, Minnesota, Ottawa, San Jose, Seattle, and Winnipeg. The number one guy that I would go grabbing from those teams is Tomas Hertl, who's been absolutely stellar on a line with Timo Meier, top power play, performing very, very well. Then I would go with Logan Couture, who's playing second line in San Jose, top power play, and has also been on an absolute tear lately, someone that I'm definitely liking as a pickup right now. Then Trevor Moore of the LA Kings obviously has been on a hot streak. LA's had a lot of off nights too, so he's definitely been added in a lot of leagues. But if you still haven't added him and you need players for Friday and Sunday, he's a pretty good add. Then Joel Eriksson for the Minnesota Wild, playing on their second line as a centerman, top power play. He's someone who consistently puts up points as well, someone that I like a lot. Philip Danault and Victor Arvidsson, who play on that second line with Trevor Moore in LA, and they all get second power play time as well. Don't hate those ads. And I have Adam Henrique, who's on a nice point streak right now for Anaheim on the top line and top power play there. And as long as he keeps that deployment and keeps producing, he's someone that I like a lot. Moving on, we have Andre Burakovsky, who's pretty much been one of the only consistent producers in Seattle. Everyone else seems pretty streaky. Burakovsky is playing on line with Weinberg and Schwartz on a terrible line. Then I have Blake Wheeler, who's playing on the second line with Dubois and Perfetti for the Jets. Hasn't been amazing, but still has been putting up a decent amount of points. Then I have Nick Schmaltz, who I've only seen play 1 game since he come back from injury. Didn't do too bad, did score a point, but this is where I would rank him since he is playing top line and top power play in Arizona. Then I have Brandon Tanev, who's playing on a pretty good line in Seattle with Gord and Bjorkstrand, and as of right now, he is producing, and he is definitely more valuable if your league counts hits as well. Then I have Jordan Eberle and Jared McCann, who's playing on the top line in Seattle with Matty Beniers. Obviously, Beniers has been ice cold, but that line is not too bad. Those are the next guys I would add, and Eberle is on quite a bit of a hot streak right now. Then I have Jonathan Taves of the Chicago Blackhawks, and he's playing on the second line as well as the top power play, and has been pretty solid this year. Then I have Max Domi of the Chicago Blackhawks playing top line, top power play with Patrick Kane for both, and he is on a little bit of a point streak right now, so Domi is a very streaky player, but when he's on, he'll get your points. Boston Krauts is a good add if you have hits in your league. He's playing on the second line with Bugstad and Michelli, also getting some PB2 time. Then I have Adam Lowry, third line, second power play. Nothing too crazy, but he hasn't been too bad this year, and if you have hits in your league, he's even more valuable. Then I have Alex Barabanov, who's playing second line in San Jose, alongside Logan Couture, who's very hot right now. And Barabanov is also seeing top power play time on the Sharks' top unit, which is absolutely fantastic. He's actually been doing pretty decently. And I have Arthur Kaliev of the LA Kings. And while he's a fourth liner, he's been producing pretty consistently this year with the limited minutes, getting power play 2 time, and this is where I would rank him. Then I have Oliver Bjorkstrand and Matty Beniers. Bjorkstrand plays on the line with Gord and with Tanev. And then I have Matty Beniers, who plays on that line with Eberle and McCann. And while he is ice cold, Beniers is a rookie, so that is expected. He's not going to be the most consistent guy in the world, but he is someone that I do like a lot. Definitely could bounce back at any point. And if you want to add a 22nd guy, Yanni Gord wouldn't be too bad of an add on this list. Now, if you want to add someone for Saturday and Sunday games, Check your lineup on Saturday. You may actually have room in your lineup because, yes, it's a busy night, but it's not that busy. Friday is super, super busy. So you may actually have room both Saturday and Sunday. If you do want to pick up someone for both those days, the only team that plays both those days is the Vancouver Canucks. Now, usually I only talk about forwards here, but because we're only talking about the Vancouver Canucks, I'm going to talk about all their players because some defensemen are going to be better streamers than some of their forwards. First of all, I have Brock Besser playing third line right wing right now. And while he hasn't been that incredible this year, he's still been pretty much a point per game. It's just the peripherals haven't been that great. Then I have Luke Shen, and he's been absolutely incredible. He has been hitting everything that moves. He leads the league in hits right now. So if you have hits in your league, he's definitely pretty valuable. He's actually been putting up a little bit of points too, but that's not something that's really sustainable for him. The hits are, though, and he's been shooting a little bit and blocking a little bit as well. So definitely someone that's going to give you a pretty safe floor. Then I have Andrei Kuzmenko and Ilya Mikheyev. Both are playing on the second line with Elias Pettersson. And Kuzmenko went ice cold and was even a healthy scratch recently. He is still not on the top power play unit. However, that line could definitely catch fire and get you a couple points. Don't mind the stream there. Then I have Connor Garland, who's been an absolute disappointment this year, and he's playing currently on the third line with Besser and Lazar. Obviously not the best deployment in the world, but he is more skilled than any of the guys who I have on the list below him. Then I have Oliver Ekman-Larsson playing PP2. He's going to get you some okay peripherals, but I wouldn't expect too much from Oliver Ekman-Larsson. If you're lucky, he'll get you a point. And I have Tyler Myers, who's also going to put up some pretty okay peripherals, but at this point, if all the guys above him on this list are taken, you're kind of grasping for straws here. But at this point, if all the guys above him on this list are taken, Tyler Myers is your best bet. Then finally, I have Nils Höglander, who's playing on the top line with Horvat and with Miller. Both guys are producing a lot, so Höglander could potentially get in on that a little bit. He's been super disappointing so far this year, but perhaps he's able to put up a couple of points. Jumping into defensemen that you can consider streaming for either Friday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, and number one on the list is Jake Sanderson of the Ottawa Senators. Now, Sanderson has been getting top power play time with Shabbat out of the lineup. Now, even though Shabbat is expected to be back this weekend, Sanderson still may get top power play time. When both were healthy before Shabbat got injured, both were actually playing on the top power play unit. If they go back to that, Sanderson still has a solid amount of value. Then I have J.J. Moser of the Arizona Coyotes, and he's really been producing lately. Someone that I like a lot and is playing top power play in Arizona, and as long as he stays hot, good streamer. Then Shane Gosper, who also plays top power play in Arizona, but he's been ice cold, so I'd actually prefer Moser over him right now, but Gosper is by no means a terrible lad. Definitely could turn it on at any time. Adam Larson, someone who's going to put up some pretty solid peripherals, blocks, hits, a couple shots maybe, and that might be enough for you. Then I have Matt Boyd, same kind of thing. Decent peripherals, may score a point every now and then, and that's the next best defenseman for you guys. Then I have Sean Durzi, who puts up a point every once in a while and puts up some okay peripherals as well. He is day-to-day right now with an injury, so don't pick him up unless he is cleared to play. Then Jared Spurgeon of the Minnesota Wild, not getting top power play time, but is putting up okay peripherals and a point every once in a while as well. Then Jake McCabe of the Chicago Blackhawks has been putting up some solid block shots numbers, and that's why I have him here. Then finally I have Calen Addison of the Minnesota Wild. And yes, he's a desperation ad because he has been ice cold, not doing anything at all, but he is still on the top power play in Minnesota, and as long as he is, there's always chances to put up points there. If you need to stream a goalie on Sunday, the number one guy that I would stream is Martin Jones of the Seattle Kraken, and I hate saying that because he's not a great goalie, but he is so hot right now, and he's playing the Anaheim Ducks. Then I would go with Spencer Martin of the Vancouver Canucks, and he's going to be playing the San Jose Sharks on Sunday. They do also play on Saturday night against Vegas, so Demko should get that game. Then I would go with Phil Gustafson against the Arizona Coyotes. Great chance for him to win, but the Coyotes don't shoot the puck a lot, so if he lets in more than a couple goals, his save percentage won't be that great. Then I have James Reimer against the Vancouver Canucks, and even though Vancouver's been significantly better lately, still a decent stream, decent chance to win against Vancouver. Then I would go with Karel Vejmelka against the Minnesota Wild. Then finally I'd go with Peter Mrazek versus Winnipeg, and then John Gibson versus Seattle. Jumping into the categories league section of the video now, if you do need to catch up on shots on goal, or if you're only leading by a little bit and you want to make sure that you win the category, the best guy to add is Boone Jenner. Shoots 3.4 times per game. You get him 2 games, that's going to be a decent amount of shots, about 7. And Brock Nelson, 3.2 shots per game. Trevor Moore, 3.2. Erickson Ek, 3.1. Petrano, 3.1. Bjorkstrand, 3.1. Raquel, 3.1. Owen Tippett, 2.9. If you do need someone who's very low roster, Fabian Zetterlund has been shooting about 2.5. That's not too bad of an ad. If you need block shots, the number one guy to add, and it's not even close, it's Alec Martinez. He blocks 4.6 shots per game, which is way above anybody else in the league. You get him for 2 games, he's going to get you about 9 plus, which is absolutely crazy. Then Chris Tanev has been blocking 2.5 shots per game on average, but has been blocking a lot more lately, which is why I have him second here. Then Provorov, 2.7, McCabe, 2.6, Van, 2.6, Connor Murphy, 2.3, and Ryan McDonough, 2.2. Keep in mind, though, Jordy Ben has a pretty low sample size, so you may not end up getting exactly what you think he's going to get. If you need hits, number one guy, not surprising, is Luke Shen, who hits 4.4 times per game. So you get him for 2 games, you'll probably hit somewhere between 8 and 9 times, which is absolutely fantastic. Tenorti's been hitting 4.2, Clutterbuck 4.1, Delorier 4.0, McEwen 3.7, Foligno 3.7, Tanner Jeannot 3.7 as well, and then Jordy Ben 3.6. And then finally, if you need faceoff wins, the number one guy to add is Jonathan Taves, who wins 12.2 faceoffs per game on average. So you get him for a couple games, he should get you somewhere around 24 faceoff wins, which is absolutely fantastic. Boone Jenner 11.8, JD Pajot 10.8, Ryan Johansson 10.6, Robert Thomas 9.4, Thomas Hurdle 9.3, Backlund 8.8, Jordan Staal 8.7, Max Domi 8.5, who's actually got triple eligibility, so you can get that many faceoff wins from a winger, which is great. And then Colton Systems 8.3, and he is only 2% roster. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. Please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tips.